Cups, sauces, everything. I love it all. Princess Di is my favorite. I just want to thank the leadership for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it. And then I just want to pray, and I want to say, Father, I can bring the bread, but I pray that you will break the bread. I can bring the bread today, Lord, but you need to multiply and feed the children in Jesus' name. Amen. Years back, before we knew Louis and Edna, we had a lot of interesting people visiting our church. Louis and myself took it over, and we were very green in the life of church, and you know how it is, they smell weakness on you. So we had the whole, the demon crowd where you burn your carpets and your children slide in the oil and alles is afgesalf, and we had that. And then after them, we had the Jewish crowd visit us. It's when Gert Visser walks into church and you say, "Hey Gert," and it's like, "No, I changed my name. I'm now Baruch Machach." He's got a beard and a kippah. You phone him and he says on his voicemail, "Shalom." Now, these people sponsored us to go to Israel. And yeah, I learned a lot about their ways. And one of the places that we visited that really just broke something open to me was the house of Caiaphas. Now, Jesus was in the garden in Gethsemane, and there he prayed, and he had blood sweat. Ask God, "Please let this cup go before me. If it's your will, I'll do it. But Lord, please." There was an intenseness in that garden. And then from there, he went to a holding cell in the home of Caiaphas. And they built some stairs for us to get into this place. And I'll never forget it. I stood there. I was green in ministry, and I watched this place. And God said to me, "This is a significant place for you and me, Lizette. I want to tell you something today. Do you remember Jesus in the garden?" I said, "Yes, Lord." He didn't look good to me. He was sweating blood. He was in trouble. He's asking his people to pray, and they sleep. Things didn't work out well. And God said, "Do you remember Jesus on the day that he was crucified?" I said, "Yes." It's strange because he was so calm. He was so brave. He was so graced. And God said to me, "You are standing in a hole in a rock. That is a significant place." Because you see, the cell worked like this. They made a chute, and then they made a hole inside of a rock, and they would lower the prisoner in there, and a little light would burn at the top. And the next morning, they would haul him up again. And God said to me, there will be places in your life like this, where no one can get to you except me. Where you can pray in Gethsemane, and you can ask your disciples to pray for you, and they will sleep. But in this place, I do not sleep. This is a hole in the ground. This is a place where people will put you, where they will crucify you, where they will take you out. But you need to know, we are here. We were here. We will meet you here. And I thank God every single day for that word, because when I got back, all hell broke loose. You see, I know this is a shock to you, but I'm not a traditional Christian person. I know it's shocking because I look the part and I sound the part. I wasn't a good person who got saved. I was a criminal who got saved. So I remember after a few weeks of being saved, I said to the Lord, "Where's the other book? You know, you have the Bible that all God's stuff is in." And I said to him, "Where's the book that will help me fit in with these people? Because I offend them." And then the other day I said to God, "Listen, you better make me a better Christian. This isn't working out." And God says to me, "But I love you." I said, "It's not you that I'm worried about. It's your ground person now." I say ground personnel isn't very happy. But when you are like this, and God has got a plan with your life, people nail you, huh? People will find, it's not people, because our fight is not against flesh and blood. But things in people will find that very thing that they will press inside of you that will make you instantly small. They know how to get you into that place of shame. They send messages and they write letters about you. And it's your word against their word. And so I ended up in that hole many a times. But I will tell you one thing today, I've never been alone in that thing. Never. My Father was there with me, and Holy Spirit said, God is your vindicator. And Jesus said, my child, no weapon forged against you. Watch this. Every time God came through for me. I was inspired by two men in the Bible. They both were in a cave. King David said this. He said, as I sink in my despair, my spirit ebbing away, you know how I am feeling. You know the danger I am in, the traps hidden in my path. Look right, look left. There's not a soul who cares what happens. I'm up against it with no exit. Bereft, left alone, I cry out, God, call out, you are my last chance, my only hope for life. Oh, listen, please listen. I've never been this low. Rescue me from those who are hunting me down. I'm no match for them. Maybe some of you have had these moments. Maybe you're just good Christians and people love you. You just get SMS's, well done, lief vir jou dominee, I don't know. Louis gets more of those in our church than me. But maybe you've been here. I mean, seriously, we've all been nailed in life. Where you get into that dark space and you're in it and you are alone. You sit in a church with hundreds of people and you are alone. And you are scared. You feel that monkey on your chest. And you feel that this is not going to work out. And you cry to God and you say, I am in a cave and it is dark and I don't want to come out because it is really bad. And we can't always explain how these things work, but you know what I mean. It's a sentence. It's something that somebody will insinuate. And you know what? The first thing that you do is you go to your sin. And maybe it's me. Maybe if I didn't swear so much in my head. That's what Christians do. Maybe if I didn't imagine killing that guy slowly with a butter knife. You go to your sin and your shame and it's, oh man, maybe I brought this over myself. Job had friends and when he was down and out, they're like, well, this is all you, brother. I'm like, Joseph Prince needs to minister to them one day in heaven because they are out of it. You go to that place where you think, maybe I can outdo myself out of this, show God and the people. But you know what? At the end of the day, we don't even have the energy for it. There's another guy who was also in a cave. His name was Elijah. Now, I love Elijah. Love this story. This story has saved my life more than once. This is the scripture I go to when I'm in a cave. It's the first thing I take out and I read it. Now, Elijah served under a very evil king, Ahab, and his queen Jezebel. And they worshiped Baal. They did not worship God. In fact, they almost wiped out the prophets of God. They were evil people. And because of the evil in the land, there was also a great famine. But God hid Elijah away. He preserved him. And then one day God said to Elijah, it's time. Go show yourself to Ahab. And he went there and he showed himself. And he had a showdown. He had a showdown. He said, fine. You say Baal, I say God. This is what we'll do. You get a bull, I get a bull. You build an altar, I build an altar. Then you call on your gods and you burn that thing. The fire must come from your gods and consume that sacrifice. And then we see if it happens, and I'll do the same. It's like a dance-off, only in the spirit. And so they started, and they bled, and they danced, and they did all their party tricks. They did the moonwalk around the altar. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. And so eventually he comes in with the swagger. He says, yeah. He built the altar, put the bull on it. He says, bring water. Bring more water. More water. And then he goes to God and he stands. And this is what I love about him. He was so bold. He says, Lord, light it up. Now for overseas and English people who use charcoal. Wet wood does not burn, okay? And I just wanted to put that out so you can have context. So God decides, game on, I'm in this, man. God sends a fire that burns the bull, the wood, the water, and the stones. And Elijah says, yeah. And in that moment, Israel knows he's back and he's bad. And he says, bring those 450 idiots here. And he killed them all. And then God says, as if that's not enough, go pray for rain. And it rained. Now, you must understand, this guy is on a high. This is amazing. I wouldn't sleep for a week because you know how it is when you beat the devil. You glow. I'm a glow stick for Jesus because I beat the devil. He tried to show me he was strong and God came through. I mean, yes, now I can do anything. But you know what? Sometimes we're at our most vulnerable after things like this. I've learned that I have to quickly get into a place of extreme humility after a big breakthrough because I am so vulnerable. So Ahab stood by, watched all of this. So he runs to mommy. Jezebel! Jezebel! You know what Elijah did? I'm like, you idiot, you didn't do anything. You ran to Jezebel. So he says to Jezebel what Elijah did, and Jezebel loses it. And what does she do? She sends a WhatsApp. You know, the amazing thing about the spirit of Jezebel is it sounds so big and it makes noise, but it's so cowardly. Few times when they will come to me face to face. They love social media. They're big on emails. Love WhatsApps. But you never see them. Huh? It's like, let's fight like men and women of God, you know? Come, take me out here. But they can't look me in the face because God looks back. So she sent a WhatsApp in biblical times. Now, those of you who didn't live in the 70s and 80s, we were the remote control. Our dads would lie on the lazy boy and say, go, make it soft, I can't hear your mother. Stop. And then he would say, no, make it louder, she's gone. Now, in Bible times, WhatsApp looked like this. You get a messenger, you put him on a donkey, you tell him what to say. She gets the messenger, she says to the messenger, when you see that old man, you tell him May my gods kill me if I don't kill you by tomorrow this time. And then you put the emoticon in. So the WhatsApp goes through. He stops. He says to Elijah, this is what Jezebel says. And something very strange happens. I mean, I would slap the guy with my open hand. It's like, you idiot. I just killed 450 of the people that help you to worship a God that isn't there. Don't mess with me. That's the logical explanation of how he would, at that moment, because he's a great man of God, God moved through him, around him. He is known that he's associated with this God. And this guy falls for this trap. You know, I wish I could even say to him at that stage, she didn't even come herself. Have you ever thought why she sent the WhatsApp? She's scared. You wiped out her whole ministry. Your God is real and hers is not, and deep down she knows it. That's why she didn't come, but he falls for it. Let me tell you one thing. I can judge this man until I'm blue in the face. I have fallen for stuff like this. I have been free of shame and rejection for years. And then one idiot sends a WhatsApp and I'm in it. I'm fearful, anxious. I fall for it. 6, love. It happens. It's spiritual. Nobody can talk you out of it. In your head, it doesn't make sense. In your heart, it doesn't make sense. But you're in the hole. You're down and out. In Afrikaans, we say, lippe teen die klippe. In English, for our international guests, it is lips against the clips. So Elijah starts running. A whole lot of stuff. He gets fed, he sleeps, he runs, whatever. But he ends up on this mountain, Horeb, because God is there. Goes into the cave. Now he's in the cave. He's sleeping. And I can just imagine this. God is seeing this boy, and he knows he's in trouble. He knows that there's nothing that you can do when you are there, when you are under that spell, when that cowardly spirit takes hold of you and your ministry and nullifies it. You can do nothing. It messes with your head. You're confused. You don't know how to prove what's going on. You don't know how to tell people. It's just you're all over the show. Because Jezebel pulled your card. God sees his boy there and he says to him, he says in 1 Kings verse 8 to 9, and then the word of the Lord came to him and he said, hey, Elijah, what are you doing here? My sweetheart, look at you. God's not talking about what are you doing here. So what are you doing here? What happened? I love you. I'm with you. I back you, man. Look what we did there on that mountain. What's going on here? And he's with his dad. And he says in verse 10, he says, I've been working my heart out for the God of angel armies. I've been doing your work. I did everything that you asked me. Look at me. I've been faithful. I worked hard. And then it says, the people of Israel have abandoned your covenant. They destroyed the places of worship. They murdered your prophets. I'm the only one left, and now they want to kill me. You see, there's a subjective thing that's over him now, because Jezebel wants to kill him, not the people. She doesn't even have the guts to kill him. She sends him a message. But you know what? The one thing that stood out for me here is it wasn't pagans or Gentiles or people that were not part of his nation. It was his own people. The other day I said to God, you know what? When we're on the fellowship, I've been in the land long enough not to fear the pirates anymore. Because we plunder and we take back what is God's. And we conquer and we hold it. I know that. My worry sometimes is at my back. The biggest attacks happened on the ship. And I feel for a time that God has for us. We always speak this to our people at home. We have to look out for each other. We can't nail each other. We can't be the conduit for Jezebel to take a brother down. And it's sad because it's your people, my people, deny you. They break the things that we do off. Sometimes ambition, power play, those things can be so destructive in kingdom building. Huh? We exchange members in churches. Instead of saying, just as long as you're in a church, there's hundreds and thousands of people that's not church that we'll get. As long as you just serve the Lord. And it's time that we are there for each other. That we watch our hearts. That jealousy and ambition don't set us up to take someone out. But that we will use it to build them up. And then God says to him in verse 11 to 12, it says, then he was told, go and stand on the mountain at attention before God. And God will pass you by. God's answer is, you need to see me. You need me. You need to be reminded who you are. And you are in me. And I am in you. And you have lost perspective. So you need to see me. I want to tell you one thing. When you are in that hole, nothing will get you out. You can play Russian roulette with the Bible until you are blue in your face. I have thrown him against the wall and walked. You know those little koringkorreltjies, it's little baby verses that you get in a box. I pick 100 until I get one, just out of desperation. That you need the presence of God. You need Him. Not things of Him, just Him. And I love this part. It says, a hurricane wind ripped through the mountains, shattered the rocks before God. But God wasn't in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake came, and it shook. But God wasn't in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, fire. Now all this time, Elijah's still in the cave. Fire. God wasn't in the fire. You see, when we are young, we look for party tricks. Moses said to God, when God called him at first, how will they know? It's like, I'll give you 3 party tricks, and then they'll know. You just throw down that rod, and it will become a snake, the hand thing. He had a whole lot of stuff that he did. Because we want the party tricks. We want the thunder. We want the wind. Woo! Fire! Fire! More! Poop it! Shatters in piece. Woo! Die Here is hier. You know when the fallers fall and the crawlers crawl. God's in the house. But when you're in trouble and you know God, it's like, no, you know what? I'm not in the mood for this, man. This isn't going to move me now. I need your love. I'm in trouble. I need my dad. I don't need the powerful king that can make fire and do hurricanes. And I want my dad. I want that voice that tells me it's going to be okay. I want that voice that said to me, I love you. I choose you. Don't worry what they say. I'm with you. If I'm with you, who can be against you? I want that one. And then it says, after all of that, there was a quiet and gentle whisper. And it says, Elijah heard it. He heard it, and he rushed, put his face in the cloak, and he stood there. And he inclined. And God said to him, so Elijah, what are you doing here? And now God wants him to tell him, what do you want from me? But he is so down and out. Sometimes I'm so down and out, I don't know what I want from God. I just stick to the script. And so he goes off again and he says, I've been working my heart out for the God of angel armies because the people of Israel have abandoned your covenant, destroyed your places of worship, and murdered your prophets. I'm the only one left, and now they want to kill me. It's like you just go on, you know? It's like you've got this... it's like in the old days when a record would just get stuck. And it's the same sentence. What do you want from me? I don't know, but it's not good. They're going to kill me. Okay, but I'm gentle. It's the whisper. Come on, baby, what do you want? I don't know what I want. I just you know that? That you cry on the phone with your husband when he's on ministry trip and you're left with the children. And then he knows, I'll pay money in. I think when we get to this place in life, we're so stuck in that SMS. We're so stuck in that WhatsApp. We lost all perspective. We were in a cave just now. And so you know what? The amazing thing is God sees what his son needs. And God gently takes his face and turns it away from the trouble and points him towards the future. That's all he needed. He just needed a reboot. And God says to him, fine, this is what you're going to do. Go back the way you came through the desert to Damascus. When you get there, anoint Hazael, make him king over Aram. Then anoint Jehu, son of Nimshi, make him king over Israel. Finally, anoint Elisha of Shaphat, and he has to succeed you as a prophet. And he gives him the future. Because you know what? Jezebel wants to steal your vision. She takes your eye off the ball. She scrambles your strategy. She confuses you in your brain. God says, okay, boy, I'm going to give you what you want. You want fresh vision. You want your future. You want to know what we're going to do in this kingdom, and I will tell you. And with God's presence, we are not just compelled by love. We are propelled by love into our future. It is at that moment when God says to you, I'm not even going to talk to you about Jezebel because it's beneath me. I will not even address your problem because it's not real. I don't even see the failure in front of me because I know who I made, and that's a mighty man and woman. I'm not going to justify what happened to you because it's a lie. I don't have to defend where you are at because it's not real. But I will tell you what you will do now. Because you are a prophet and you are called and I have a plan for you. And just because you forgot for a minute doesn't mean it isn't so. So you go, pick up your loins and go do your job, because I am faithful and I am with you, and stop this nonsense. And I feel today, if some of you fell into this trap, get over the guilt, get over the shame, get out of the confusion, and listen to that still small voice, where God says to you, you know what? I'm your guy. And we are going to do this. We are going to build the kingdom. And I'm not scared. And let God instruct you and remind you of your redemptive purpose, so that you can step out, step in, step around, and go through, because other people are depending on us to reboot. Amen.